Hello, folks. Joseph Carabas here. Brittany Avery, who we all know and love, has asked me if I would be kind enough to read some of my published work for the group. And being a maniacal egotist, I went, yeah, of course, definitely, sure. I'll be reading stuff primarily from the Harvey Duckman Presents series. That's an anthology series put out by Sixth Element Books. They have science fiction, fantasy, horror, steampunk. Hey, they take my stuff, so give it a go, right? You might get in. Anyway, this time I'm going to be reading The Little Knitty Dragon, which appeared in Harvey Duckman 7, and it's available on Amazon and through Sixth Element Books. I'll be providing links at the end of this, and please do pick it up and leave comments, leave reviews. So anyway, The Little Knitty Dragon, A Tale of the Woods. Once upon a time, in a land where magic was almost lost, a little knitty dragon sat lonely and sad upon a little girl's desk. The little girl hadn't come to her desk in ever so long. She used to come every day, many times a day, and talk with the little knitty dragon about what she did and who she played with. Often she took the little knitty dragon with her, and he would spread his yarnish rainbow-colored wings and breathe red cotton fire, and oh, the adventures they had. It was magic of the first kind, the kind reserved for children and grown-ups who've kept their childhood alive in their hearts. Grown-ups have to work hard to keep that kind of magic. The little girl would put the little knitty dragon on her shoulder, and they'd read storybooks together. She put him on her desk when she did her homework so he could see the problem she worked on, and she'd ask him if her answers were right or not. Sometimes he rode in her backpack when she went to school, and she'd show him to everyone and share their adventures with her classmates, and the little knitty dragon was so proud. When they got home, she'd brush the little knitty dragon and groom his yarn hide and polish his sequiny tail. She put him in her lap when she watched television and beside her head on her pillow when she went to bed. Little knitty dragons are always little knitty dragons, but little girls are not always little girls. This little girl got older. She took the little knitty dragon with her less and less. She still came and shared her day, but they were adventures she had, not adventures they had together. Every time she sat at her desk, the little knitty dragon opened his wings and stuck out his tongue and swung his tail and rejoiced in the stories she told. She still picked him up and brushed him and put him on her lap and had him sit with her when she did her homework, but she asked his help less often. Then one time she left for school and forgot to say goodbye. She'd almost done that once before. She got dressed for school and grabbed her things and left her room and closed the door. The little knitty dragon heard her on the stairs. Then her footsteps stopped. Quick as fire on the tongue, she raced back and flung open her door and kissed the little knitty dragon on his fiery red and orange head and looked into his little sewing bead eyes and said how sorry she was, how forgetful she was, and wouldn't let it happen again because the little knitty dragon was her friend and she loved him so very, very much. But it did. And then it happened again and again and again until finally she didn't say hello or goodbye or anything to the little knitty dragon. He watched as dolls gave way to jewelry and jewelry gave way to makeup, and then one horrible, horrible day the young girl put a young boy's picture on her desk in front of the little knitty dragon. It was a small picture, tiny really. And the little knitty dragon's tail poked around one side and his tongue the other, but still. A little while later, another picture took the place of the first, and then another. And each time the pictures got larger and larger, and finally there was no room left for the little knitty dragon on the young woman's desk, and she moved him to her closet without saying a word. The little knitty dragon wept little knitty tears in the dark. She opened her closet often, but only for clothes, never for him. And then the woman was gone. Until one day the little knitty dragon heard a little girl's voice and footsteps racing up the stairs. Little knitty dragon lifted little wool-tough ears and perked up. "Which room was yours, Mommy?" He heard the door open. "This one." Little feet hurried in. Big ones followed. Looks like Grandma kept it just as I left it. Are you sorry Grandma's gone, Mommy? Well, she always alive in our hearts, isn't she? The Little Knitty Dragon recognized the woman's voice. Here was the little girl he knew, come back after all these years. Did you have toys, Mommy? Oh, let's see, I know I did. Where did I? The closet door opened. Oh my God, the woman reached in. Little Knitty Dragon, I'd forgotten all about you. And she took the Little Knitty Dragon out with tender hands and brushed him and polished his little sewing bead eyes and sequiny tail and helped him spread his rainbow wings, and it was wonderful. Then she told her daughter about all the adventures she and the Little Knitty Dragon had. Oh, may I have him, Mommy? Please, may I have him? I want those adventures too. And so the Little Knitty Dragon had another little girl to take care of and help grow up. And they played and they flew and they stormed castles and found treasure and made forts and read books and watched movies, and then the little girl grew older and older, and the Little Knitty Dragon flew less and less. Pictures took his place on this little girl's desk. And all too soon this young woman was gone too. Then one day the Little Knitty Dragon heard slow steps on the stairway. Slow, easy, uneven steps. The Little Knitty Dragon heard a rasping voice approach the door. Downstairs he heard sounds of a party. It had been a long time since he'd been taken to a party. He wondered who was there. But then the door opened and the shuffling steps entered the room, neared the closet, opened it, and old, years-stained hands reached in. Oh, Little Knitty Dragon. It was the little girl. She was hiding in an old woman. Do you hear that racket? That's my birthday party. My whole family's there. Grandchildren, some with their boyfriends. Too much noise for me, though. She brushed the Little Knitty Dragon's yarn hide, polished his eyes, shined his tail. I'm too tired for all that bother these days. She lay down on the bed she had as a child, the Little Knitty Dragon resting by her gray hair as it spread over her pillow. Then her eyes sparkled. Do you remember the adventures we had? Whatever happened, Little Knitty Dragon? The Little Knitty Dragon spread his wings. Larger and larger they grew until they filled the room. The little girl climbed on his back just as the magic allowed her to when she was a child. She looked down as they flew beyond her childhood room. Is that me, Little Knitty Dragon? Is that what I became? The Little Knitty Dragon flew in great loops, carrying her ever closer to the stars, places they would yet explore. She clung to him and laughed and giggled and hugged the Little Knitty Dragon ever so close. And oh, the adventures they had. And that's Little Knitty Dragon in Harvey Duckman Presents Volume 7. And there will be links at the end of this video. Thank you.